the materialist or atheist go-to explanation now is something called the multiverse. The idea that, well, yes, it's incredibly improbable that we'd get all those physical parameters finely tuned against all odds just right. But if we could conceive of gabillions and gabillions and gabillions of other universes out there, then our universe or some universe that was life-friendly would eventually have to arise by sheer chance alone. Two problems with that. First, if these other universes are causally disconnected from ours, then there's no, then they would have no effect on anything in our universe, including the probabilities of whatever set the fine-tuning parameters. And in virtue of that, multiverse advocates have recognized that in order to portray our universe as something like the lucky winner of a great cosmic lottery, that there must be underlying universe-generating mechanisms. And so there are two that have been proposed, one based on something called string theory, one based on something called inflationary cosmology. But as you delve into this, it turns out that even in theory, these universe-generating mechanisms must be themselves exquisitely finely tuned in order to produce other universes. And so the multiverse hypothesis ends up presupposing prior unexplained fine-tuning, and you're right back to where you started. So the evidence fine-tuning, by which we mean something like an ensemble of improbable parameters that jointly function or that jointly work to perform a function or exemplify a set of functional requirements and produce a significant outcome. And when we find finely tuned systems in our experience, whether they're French recipes or internal combustion engines, they're always the result of intelligence. So given that the multiverse has not actually explained the ultimate origin of fine-tuning, but just pushed it back a generation, the hypothesis of intelligent design, and indeed a theistic design, I think stands as the best explanation.
You got to admit the multiverse is a pretty cool idea, though, because you could have...
Oh, it's very cool. The point is that even if it's true, it doesn't circumvent the need for intelligent design. It just pushes it back to the universe-generating mechanisms.
Yeah, but then you could have all these different Spider-Mans.
Awesome. You could,
like there's different universes, different Spider-Mans.
Every gender.
All the there could be multiple. We're just throwing that out there.
Is there a multiverse? In the multiverse, is there one where intelligent design is true?
Well, that's actually a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. If there's something called a physics, it's not quite the multiverse. It's a slightly different idea that's called the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. But some have argued that if the many worlds of interpretation of quantum mechanics is true, and that every logically possible universe exists in some possible world, then there must be in one of those universes an omniscient God who's responsible for the production of all of the universes. So it's an interesting twist on the ontological argument for the existence of God. But that
was my first Babylon Bee article was atheist believes multiverse theory of every possible universe except the biblical one.
Except the biblical one. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.